Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Live from Alliance headquarters in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina. Hosted by Andy Albright. Brought to you by AMP Studios in front of a live studio audience. Featuring in-depth training and the latest Alliance news. Now, let's hear it for your host, our President and CEO, Andy Albright!
That's right! How y'all doing? You're fired up as I am. I don't believe it. All right, y'all grab a seat. We got to get this thing rocking. We got 3.5 to 4 hours worth of material. We're going to jam up in about 45 minutes. Woo! God, we got a crowd here, and we're going to expand. We have doubled our television studio, and we got maybe 50 in here. We're getting ready to blow it up again, bigger. Our studio is going to get bigger. The Alliance is investing, baby. If y'all hadn't noticed, we are growing. Now is the time. The whistles are blowing. The flags are raised. It's time to charge. So, all kinds of great stuff's happening. The first fun thing I want to kick off with is this. Eiffel Tower. If you are in the room, I would like for you to come up and place your sticker on the Eiffel Tower. If I understand this, we're supposed to put the stickers on the Eiffel Tower, right? Nobody knows. Michelle Alleman, are you in the house? Because you guys have already won Paris, James Coleman, Kim Spinelli-Young, Katrina Gusson, Mark Hutchinson, Debbie Ben, Robert Wilson, Paul Roberts, Minerva. Paul Roberts is the only agency manager that's won it as a manager. He's already won it. Bill Cook and Michael Owens has already won it. So you guys, let's see, Angela Clark, are you a sticky person? Can you do stickies?
I can do stickies.
Okay, take these stickies off since they didn't come forward and just place them on the Eiffel Tower because these people have already won. Yeah, you get to pick. It's like your choice. You have the authority. You have the power. Yeah. Give Angela Clark a hand for this. She's a sticky person. She's a sticky person. You go, oh, whatever. Okay, so what we want to do, okay, we're in the month of June. We just started June. We're not even, June is 6 months, end of June is 6 months into the year, right? We're not even halfway through the year, and these people have already won it. Anybody that don't win it in 12 months, and then other people are winning it in 6 months, it's got to hurt your self-image. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. You have 6 months remaining. If you have 1 point toward Paris, you can win. Because you have a head start over what they had, because they had no points January 1. And by the way, these are not bonus people. Like brand new people get $10,000 just for buying their first policy with Foresters. You get 10,000 bonus points. And then if you hire one person who sells one policy Foresters, you get another 10,000 points. That's $20,000 points bonus. These people didn't get no bonus points. And they qualified in less than 6 months. Y'all hear what I'm telling you? Yeah, I know. This is evidence, preponderance of evidence that you can win. Okay, thank you very much. That's neatly done. I would have done it more randomly. Way to go, Angela! Yay! Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm going to be down in Charlotte Sunday, flying down on the jet, and I think we're going to load the jet up. About 9 of us are going to jump on the jet. We're just going to pop down to Charlotte. I think it's like a 7-minute flight on the jet. And we're going to do a little training session for about 3 hours, 1 p.m. Matter of fact, we're eating lunch at this cool-looking place called Caswell. And so it's on the first, if you go on band, it's on there as a date, a highlighted date. And so you can click on let us know so we can plan. But we're going to have lunch at Chandler's upstairs. They've got a private room in Charlotte. We're going to do some training 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then we're out of there. So want to mention that. I'm in Greensboro the 12th. What is 12th? Tuesday? Yes. I'll be in Greensboro doing the plan. I'll be in Raleigh on the 18th. I will be in Duluth, Georgia on the 19th. Yeah, I will. I'll be in Duluth, Georgia on the 19th. And that's all, I think that's all those are 2 to Greensboro and Raleigh. I'm just doing the hot spot, the night part. But I think Duluth I'm going down early, so I'll do it day and night. And June 29th, I'm about 99% sure I will be in Kansas City doing the hot spot for sure, 7 o'clock. I might be able to do some training before that. And then July 16th, I'm in Raleigh. Oh, okay. This is more about you guys that's going on. Before the $212,000 that were given away at family reunion, I want to show that. But first, I want to do the Good Samaritan for bonus. So this is a summary of money we give away in May. So every month we do a contest that says, how much money can you get me to give away? Like, I will give to charities based on how much you make me give. Now, what I've told people, brand new people that hadn't heard this, I give away hundreds of thousands, actually millions of dollars I give away. But typically, I haven't asked people, but I came up with this idea of letting you direct where I send this money. And so I think we've given away over $250,000 so far that you told me where to write it to. Your charity, whether it's something for children, something for dogs, something for turtles, something for, what's them animals you got? Yeah, what's them animals? What are they?
Benderong.
If you got a Benderong that you want to support, I'll support your Benderong. All you got to do is sell some insurance and recruit somebody and get them to get started. So I'm going to pull up the month of May and show you what you did. You helped me direct $11,050 in the month of May. Yay! So 69 different agents I'm writing checks to on their behalf. And a lot of times, Jeff, if I write a check for like the Benderongs, the agent will contribute twice as much or something. They don't have to. You know, some companies, they say, if you give, then we'll come in behind you. I go, how about if I go first and give them something, and you can decide if you want to come in or not. Okay, and then there's the worst companies that say, you just paid for the merchandise, could you give us some money and then we'll give it and we'll take all credit for it. Right. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like Walmart, you go through there, can you give us a few extra dollars? And you're like, I already paid for my stuff. No, but these little children. So then they take your money and then they give it and they go like, look what Walmart gave. I'm like, that was my money. I don't follow how they do that, but it's a blind leading the blind right there. Okay, so we're doing $11,050. Now, the way it works, Billy, I'm not having success over here with my tuner downer. Okay, why is it? It's not having any traction whatsoever, brother. Okay. And I'm not going to be able to tell you. Keep going down. All right. Let me show you how this works. So Bill Cooks did $46,000 in premium, personal production. And this is the key column. First, direct person, new person that he got started and they sold something. He hired one, but he had one. The key is this column right here. So this next one, Michelle Allen, 39,000, recruited 7, they had 3. So they outdid themselves. Go down to where somebody did 0, Billy. See, all these people earned $11,000. Either $100 or $350. The more they do, the more I give away. Then these people, Sarge, Caleb, Sean, Vanessa, I love them. They sold enough, but because they didn't have anything in this column, they didn't get a new person to issue pay business. Because they didn't get a new person, I go, you don't get to direct. So now I want to go back up to the top and show what we could have done if we'd have just had those one persons to get it done. Okay, so if we had right here. So my screen's all crazy. Where's my? I can just do markers. Let's see if this works. All right. Right here, 156 people wrote enough business, they just needed to get one more person to write business. If they'd have done that, we would have had another 15,000. 22 people had enough to be SEAL team, which is like $200 check I would have had to write if they'd have just got one. So if all these people, 178 people, had got one more person writing business in the month of May, we would have given away $21,000 instead of $11,000. Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to do is get people, you say just one more person. Yeah, most of the time what I'm teaching for is 3% improvement or 1% improvement. I'm not trying to change people's life. I'm not trying to change the way they think. I'm just trying to make a minor adjustment. So if we had had a minor adjustment from 170 some people, 178 people, we would have given away 21,000. Does that make sense? So that Good Samaritan bonus, I'm speeding through it faster than I want to, but 69 people are going to get an envelope and a check for their charity. Mac Hefner will be contacting these 69 people and saying, what charity is going to get this check? And then we will write that check out right to your charity. We should contact 178 people and say, what charity did not get that check? And would you write the check instead, since you barely missed on the work side? Okay? All right, so that month of May was a pretty strong month with $11,000. Could have been $21,000. Now, if you start going down here, these people had a personal direct. They got somebody selling, but they didn't quite sell enough. We would have picked up another $6,200, which would have took us to $27,100. Tracking with me? So so if you did 6,000 plus 21,000, see, it's like it's. You've heard that when you get to the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on. Or if you could just try just one more step, one more inch, just a little bit, one more phone call, encourage the person just a little bit more, stopped at one more house. I'm trying to get that one more out of you because it is real, people. It is. I'm an engineer. This is real math about how much one more makes a difference. I'm trying to sneak in one more text, one more email. I'm saying it and I'm going like, you know what? A lot of times I'll text out to about 300 people to get on my TWC and I'm going, I didn't get that one more done today. It's just that one more little inch, little thing we've got to do. Okay, let's go here. $212,000. So let's see who is winning this production contest. The 212 top 33 producers are going to receive money. Woohoo! Okay, here we go. We're going to give away $20,000 for the highest producer April, May, and June. We're in the home stretch. Right now, Michelle Alleman is spanking people's butt. Bill Cook thinks it's a psychological mistake that I keep calling her name. But since I've been calling her name the last contest every single time, and this time her name every single time, Bill, I really hope that you can move up, but I'm watching Michelle, I'm listening to Michelle. I mean, look at this. She's got more applications and more premium. I don't know. Sarge is saying, what about me? And I'm going, Sarge, what about you, buddy? You're number 2 with a chance to win $20,000. I would love to see that block of $20,000, drop it in your hand, and then you pass it over to Mona. I think that would be awesome. All right. It is getting hot. Swindell has been edged out of number 3, if I remember correctly. Bill Cook was number 4. He has moved past Swindell. If he continues that pattern, he will pass Wilson next. Tim Tipton, remember he was out of the 33, but I kept saying, look, he hasn't had much premium, but he writes big cases. Apparently he found some small cases, and now he gets full credit. So see, here's the number. He's at 51,000. So he's moved up to number 6 now in the country. Swindell, he's got a little enhancement right there with annuity contest money. James Coleman has moved up. Here is a newcomer, Melissa Williams. She's fairly new. Marcus Richardson, I remember him, it was at number 10. Now he's moved up to number 9. This is a hot race. So here's the way it goes. It goes $20,000 for number 1, $15,000 for number 2, and $10,000 for number 3. So there's a huge incentive to be in one of those 3 spots and to move up to number 1. Then it goes 5K, 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 all the way down to number 10. So $5,000 slots right here. And then it moves, I think, to 2,500 or 2,000. It's a big drop. Go ahead and let's see who's down here. All right. Vanessa is another brand new person that's, I say new, within the last year. Carrie Williams has been moving up. Adam Johnson's moved up. Glenn Lamb moved way up. Minerve. Caleb Law, another guy that hadn't been with us very long, maybe a couple in his second year, maybe he'll still be in his first year. Shannon has moved up. Bel Air moved up. Andershock. Becker. Owens. Mac Judy, come down. So this is all in the money. The money goes all the way down to 33. And I noticed Danny Johnson moved into the top 33. I think, what's the bottom line? What does the bottom line get? $500. So it's a $500 check here, and they get sticky notes here. Terry?
We moving up.
There's Tia Edwards right there, of the better half of the Terry and Tia Edwards game. So it's $500 difference between here and here. Look at the difference. You're only talking about, look, $20. $20. $20 more, you'll move above the line. Look at this. From here to here, it's one application. From here to here, it's one application. One application, one app separating. That's what I'm telling you. One more will change your life. You know what's, I want to, this is a personal problem. Everybody's got problems, right? I'm a one more person. That's why I struggle with weight. You understand what I'm talking about? I'm not a one less person. I'm a one more person. One more donut. One more Snickers. One more glass. I do really good at one more games. I'm not big on these one less games. Golf. I'm terrible. I'm like, I win. They're like, wow. It's like, I had like 13. And they're like, it's less. I was like, I hate less games. So, no, I was saying everybody was moving up. Everybody ain't moving up. Some people have been moving down. It's switching up. Jara is a brand new one that's moved up. She's brand new. I think she started in February or March. And yet she's in the top 29 in the whole United States of America. Jessica Phillips is another brand new girl that came up to me and was like, I'm going to do this thing, part of Adam Katz. And she is just a do person. You with me? Like, she's like, you know I got problems. I said, I'm guessing you got problems. And she's like, no, you don't understand I got problems. I said, I'm guessing you don't even know problems. She's like, that's me. And she said, what do you think? I said, you need to do more. And she said, no, just don't worry about it and just do. I said, yeah, just do. And so she's doing. Check this out. Do y'all know, does that name sound familiar? Megan Alleman, Michelle Alleman, daughter. Been writing these goals down since January. Wow. Goodrich. I hear you had a great meeting in Vegas. Nikki Ebanks coming on strong. Lisa Lyon, Janina, another a new lady that's coming on strong. Janina. Nick Neitzel. All right. Okay, so there's $20,000, $15,000. We also have the same thing for recruiting. Can you get to the recruiting and see the update there? All right, here we go. Andy Riddle continues to be #1 in the United States of America. Hey, Billy, you told me that my adjustments are going to be up here where I could click on them, the size of the marker and stuff. Aha, you the man. I got you. All right, got it. Thank you. Let's go back to the leaderboard. Beautiful. Thank you, Billy. All right. $13. Mike and Noel at 11. So this is the first time #1 has had a 2 recruit lead. So the way this works, Billy, I'm going to go. Give me a gray sheet, Billy. Boom, yow. Okay, the way this works is you selling, that's the first leaderboard. This is the recruiting one. This is when you hire somebody, and then finally one of those people sell a policy and it gets issue paid. That's called 1. So then if you hire 3 more people and then one of them writes a policy on themselves and it gets issue paid, that's called 2. Does that make sense? Okay, go back to the leaderboard, Billy. Please, sir. Thank you. Boom, yow. So however many he's hired, 27, he's had 13 of them issue pay business, which leads him to make $20,000 bonus. So he gets all his overrides, all his hierarchy for selling and recruiting, plus a $20,000 bonus. Mike and Noel have hired 13. 11 of them have converted. Kyle Cater, 24, 9 who have converted. Now what Kyle's telling me is, Andy, I got 24 in the pipeline. I promise you I'm going to get 4 more and tie him. And this is one of the biggest lessons in the world, if you can get, is you have no time. Because you say, like, I'm going to do it, and I go like, gonna? He done. At some point, you have to talk about what you done, not what you're going to do. At some point, I did. That's people next week, gonna, and all that stuff. Done, did. Okay? It's the concept of you make the same amount of money. Remind me of your name? Melissa, you make the same amount of money I make. I don't know if you know this. You just take longer to take it, to make it. Does that make sense? Like, let's say you make $1 million over the next 32 years, and I might make it over the next, say, 4 months. See, it's the same amount of money, $1 million and $1 million. It's just a time frame. It's just like you're saying, I'm recruiting just as much as him, but you're not doing it as fast. You say, well, same difference. You make $1 million in 4 months and tell me it's the same thing as making over 35 years. It's a whole different game. It creates opportunities and challenges like you can't. I mean, you just have money. Just sitting there, you'd be like, I want that. Now, you ain't got no money. No, yes, you do. You go like, oh, I remember that was when I used to take 35 years to make $1 million. But now that you're making it like this, you actually have it now. It's not gonna, so you don't have to use credit card. You just write a check. Now, some people say it won't make you happy, and I agree. But it will make you go faster, and it'll buy a truck to pull your boat, pay for college education. It won't make you happy, but it does change the situation. It's up to you. Owens, he's been moving up like crazy. Ben Ortiz, steady. Look at this, only 2 7s. Boom, 2 all the way up to 9. And this, but we've not had this before. 2 separation, 2 separation, 2 separation. These 3 people, Riddle, Leventovich, and Cater, have moved out 2 more than anybody else. Then Michael, then Ben, then G. Chris, then Bell Kraus, Jake and Bell Kraus. These guys have not been with us long as far as full-time. Bell has been selling, but now Jake is out there recruiting with her. Look at this stuff right here. Woohoo! You say when you're tied, what separates it? Now you come over here to who do you have that's issue paid 10 policies. So since he's the outright winner, this don't matter. But if this guy, if Leventovich sort of tie with him, they'd still have a tie. Then we'd come to this column, and Leventovich's would move up. So if Leventovich's can manage a tie, they manage a victory. Same thing with Michael Owens. Look, if Michael gets up to tying them, he's going to be the victor. Who is this? G. Chris. 5 people direct to him have their 5th issue page. Like his business must be smoking, growing like crazy. Joe Walker. Congratulations, Joe. Congratulations, Joe. Congratulations. Look at the 6s. There's 3 6s. All right, scroll it down for me, boss. James Hill. Phil Abear. This is the one a lot of us call him Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil right here. Steve Moore. Henry Borland. Henry Borland hired by Ben Ortiz. So 2 people back to back right there. Got him 2 out here. Steve Thompson, Chris Long, Chris and Courtney Long. Hey, look, Marcus Richardson, is that familiar? He was over there on the other one at around 8 or 9, and now here he is at 15. So if he can, listen to another rule, if he can get into top 10 on both sides, it gives him an extra $5,000. So let's say he's winning $5,000 in the selling, but he's not in the top 10. He's winning something for being 15. If he just moves into the top 10, he gets $5,000 for being in the top 10 and a $5,000 for being in both. So it's a $10,000 increase. For him to go to number 15 to number 10 from 4. Look, Carla Richardson, okay, Carla. If he goes from 4 just to 5, one more, $10,000 difference in bonus money, not to count hiring people and making more money. That's huge. This inch is big stuff right here. Now, if he tied at 5, he could still be here, depending on what he's got in width. Let's see what he's got in width. Yep, he looks like he's going to have to go up. He's going to have to go up to 6. He really needs to go from 4 to 6. So 2 more people puts him up to 6, and that will put him at number 9. That would give him $10,000 more. Just 2 people. And let's see who he's got to work with. He's got 4 to work with. All right. Allemans, again, they're number 1. If they move into the top 10, gives them an extra $5,000. Terry and Tia, right here, you scoring, you got $500 on, you were just out of 500, you're into the 500 over here. Maybe it's more at 17, I can't remember what the numbers are. All right, Mark Hutchinson, Smoking, Kimberly Young, Brandon Beal, Paul Roberts, Stephen Davies, Kerry Williams. Mr. Davies, Adam Katz, Jacob Kern, Adam Johnson, Brant Swindell, Marty Dozier. I understand they had 20 people at their hot spot last night. He's at 3. Look at these 3s. Look at these ties. Tied for 3. But see what difference is, can you get those people to sell more? Michael Paleo, Chadwick Ray, Angela Clark right there, the sticker lady. Mr. Mike Frederick. Mike Frederick came to the, he was at the National Convention as a business developer and is coming back 6 months later as a key leader, hit it last 2 months in a row. Not bad growth after making a decision. And I'll guarantee if you talk to him, what are you doing? He'll be, I'm really just trying to get one more. He's got that mindset of I'm trying to get one more. A lot of people, they go, I got these 20 people. I got this big deal. And I say, just try to get one. I'd be thrilled if you got one. And a lot of people think I have a low expectation of them when I want them to get one. That's because I don't tell them up front that there's going to be one more after the one. Get the one, then we'll worry about the one more. All right, so here's the cutoff. Louis Body ends it. Cuz, you are right there, buddy. Where's Alabama? There you are, Alabama. You are right there on the money. Is Cuz, did he tell you you could have all the bonus money if you got into the bonuses? You get half of the bonus money? There's $250 just to go from there to there. It's so close. All right. gosh, I could play around with these all day. I'm so excited about this contest. I can't wait. We have a surprise. We have surprises. In other words, bundles of cash for everybody. Okay. There is a 10,000. Okay. Key leaders, would you check with all of your people, show them how this works, and then let them tell you how it works? The $10,000 drawing bonus, moving in from 33 to 33, and from 10. I can't do it all. I want to really recognize these top people and get them stirred up, but I need for you to check with your people and see if they understand every little tiny detail of these contests. It's keep it low. Make sure they understand. Don't just throw it out there and say we're having a big contest. Ask them to explain it to you. Every word that they say to you about what's happening in this contest moves them along. Not kidding. I don't have time to do the psychological dynamics to it, but it'll make a difference to you. Okay? All right. Woohoo! The reason I can't keep going is I got Jeff Bright with some crazy, jammed up information to share. I have 33 people that I'm really want you guys to pay attention to this part, because I think compassion, which is one of our values, I think all of these 33 people see compassion as something significant in their life. Kyle Weinbrenner, Penny Wilson, Kerry Williams, Brant Swindell, Kim Young, Paul Roberts, Andy Riddle, Marcus Richardson, Chadwick Ray, Minerva Profil, Michael Owens, Marvin Osuna, Paul Menachino, Olga Mathis, Chris Long, Jasmine Lightborn, Mike Leventovich, Diane Lampy, Jacob Kern, Kyle Cater, Adam Katz, Danny Johnson, James Hill, Dr. Phil Abear, Mike Hartlib, Matt Goodrich, Alex Fitzgerald, Paul Epstein, Terry Edwards, Stephen Davies, Junior Correa, Bill Cook, James Coleman, Jason Carey, Debbie Ben, Eric Belair, Michelle Alleman, and Alex Abian. Okay, these are the people that we flew up to Toronto. Some of these have shifted down, and some others throughout the country have shifted up. Okay? But I haven't made that distinction. And I've had people come up to me and say, Andy, you know, I'm not mad because I'm not in the top 33, but I feel like that I'm kicking butt and they deserve it. And then I'm looking at their results going, maybe they do based on some of the other ones. Because it is we say that we're not judging people because we don't. Like, we don't say because you're older you get in the top 33, and we don't say because, oh, you're real young, we got to put you in 33. That's not the way it works. It's based on results. So based on the results, we're judging that maybe we need to make some adjustments here. Right now, all of these people are going to be invited on another call. We're working on it next week. It may be a week after next before we get it set up, a training call. But there's more stuff coming. There's contests coming. We want you on that inner circle because these are the people that's going to help us take this thing to 10,000 apps a week. Okay? And by the way, if you're a mathematician and you were counting, you go, there's more than 33. I've got what's called backups to my top 33. So that was the top 33 plus my backups. But I'm not going to tell you which ones are backups because they'll think they're second string. And they're not. They're backups. Okay. All right. Woo! Oh, app count's going through the roof. Way to go, y'all. Numbers are going crazy. Recruiting's going crazy. Number of people writing. Hotspots are blowing up. It's getting crazy. And some people say it has to do with what we've been teaching about the value. So let's get on with it. Mr. Jeff Bright, compassion, baby. Compassion. You're going to need a mic. So. Let's go with the red one.
Let's go back to the house for a second.
Make this go away.
Yeah, make that go away. That looks really, yeah, it's not going away. But we can still see the house. Clean up. Woo.
I just cleaned it up.
It's all gone now.
That'll learn him.
I don't know if we should put yes or no there. No, evidently. Wow. Thank you, Billy. That was fast. Hey, I got to pick up a pen. Is that a pen?
You can pin it.
I can do this?
You can do this.
Look at that. Look at that.
Whoa.
What? Erase my...
You went around respect.
No, I want to go around both of them. Both of them. Both of them.
I'm gonna maintain my position over here.
The reason I did that is because we talk about respect a lot, but we try to group compassion in with respect. And I just want to make a distinction. Last week we did respect, correct? Everybody out there, respect. Remember that talk on respect? Now we're going to do compassion. And a lot of folks call me or text me and say, you didn't talk about love a lot in respect. And I'm like, yeah, on purpose. Because love belongs over here with compassion. Now, both of these have something in common. That's why I circled them. They both require you to give people the benefit of the doubt. The way you go about doing it is different, but they both require that. So that's why I circled that. And this is a racer too, isn't it? Look at that. Good. Wow. That's fancy stuff.
Fancy.
All right. So we're going to do compassion. Billy, can we go? Oh, it's up here. I remember. Oh, is it? I don't know. He's doing something. All right, he's clicking it. Yeah, once again, my writing, which we won't have any judgment on. I'm going to read this to you because I know you can't read my writing. But compassion, the definition is to relieve other people of their pain by showing concern. That's basically what it says right here. And in the classic teachings that I've read about in the Buddhist tradition, it's the noblest quality of the human heart. And what it requires is that heart to do, it is the heart trembling in the face of suffering. So your heart hurts when you see somebody else suffering. That's what in the Buddhist tradition it means. Some people think that they can't have compassion or show compassion if they have this, which is they have intentionally transgressed, meaning they have made mistakes, they've broken laws, they're bad people, we've classified them as bad people, we call them criminals or whatever. Everybody can still be saved and still can show and act like they've got compassion for their fellow human beings. So I want you to understand that. It's not something that you lose the right to have. So that's why I put that in there. Compassion comes from the Latin word.
Why would you think you don't have a right to do it? I don't understand that compassion. Like if a criminal, you think a criminal can't have compassion on a baby that's hurting?
We're thinking because they've committed crimes that they don't have the ability to have, their heart's not working right. We've given up on them.
But that's not true.
That's not true.
Okay.
I don't think we should give up on anybody. They made mistakes. So look at the definition of compassion from the English language. We get everything from the Latin, the word passio, which means to suffer, and paired with the prefix of the front calm to passion means together. So together, we suffer together. That's what the word means. We suffer together. All right, let's go to the next page. Can I do that here, Billy? Can I do that?
Yep. Boom now.
Wow, look at that. So, compassion involves connection to others and caring for those others. It involves a focus on the other and a desire for the other to have good things happen to them and overcome adversity. We actually want good things. We desire good things to happen to people. For you to have compassion, you really have to believe that you want them to succeed. You're not jealous of them. You don't wish bad things on them. You don't judge them of their past experiences. You do wish that they can improve, and you wish good things to happen to them. That is a requirement of compassion. In other words, it is the exploring of the process of three things. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because you're about to see the recipe. The recipe is made up into thirds, like we always do the recipe. Noticing, connecting and responding. Noticing, connecting, and responding. That's what this whole talk's about, those three things. Now, here's a quote to get you to the next page. The Dalai Lama himself said, compassion is a necessity, not a luxury. It should be part of your repertoire, not something you get around to when you feel like it. Okay, here's another one I like, author unknown. Consider how much your actions will affect not only the outcome, but the journey of another. So a lot of times we worry about getting people to from point A to point B. We don't think about during the process of that, they're going through some stuff. That's the time to show compassion, not to get them from point A to point B, but to talk about what happens in between that maybe gets them off the path or off the track. And compassion can help people get back on the track.
Simple example. Are y'all together? Yes. Come here real quick. Tell me who y'all are, who y'all hired by. Come on.
Tim and Nikki Long, and we've been hired by Jake and Belle Krause.
Okay, and y'all, shake my hand. Tim and Nikki. Ow. Try again. Like, ow! No, it's not. It's your crushing hand. Easy. I'm a girl. Come shake hands with her. Ow! Look, quit it.
Shaking my hand.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. It's Tim and Nikki. Tim and Nikki. Okay. Here's the analogy. Compassion. Psychological test. They've studied monkeys in a cage. Okay. You put a scare thermometer in a monkey. Actually, put electrodes, and they can monitor the levels of stuff inside their body that determines whether you're scared or not. They do it with a monkey, scores off a chart if he's in a small cage and you're shaking him. Take another monkey, put him in the cage, the scared thermometer will come down by over 1/2. Do you believe that?
Sir.
Why do you believe that?
So we
Mic up. Remember,
we
Anna?
complement each other, and we help take anxiety
Two
away from each
monkeys.
other.
Two monkeys complement each other.
Are we the monkeys?
If you say so. If you
I
say
think
so.
You're a group. You're together. So.
Okay. Well, let me explain something to you. If I took you, the monkey, and I tell you something, and I go, Tia, come stand beside him. Okay? Do you even feel it come down that quicker when she stands there beside you?
I do.
This is the way people feel when you hire them and you come along beside them. Okay? So another way would be like this. Come back over here with Nikki. So it's Nikki, Toby, and Stephanie. Come stand up here. You see how quickly that changes? Another couple, another monkey, another monkey. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now here's the way it goes. You're watching a scary movie, and there's a bad guy in the woods, and they're around the fire, and somebody goes, I got to go to the bathroom. And you're like, no! No! Take someone with you! Right? The guy's out there with a machine gun and a machete, and you think if somebody goes with them, they're going to be okay. Here's how crazy it gets. You put 3 monkeys in a cage, they think they're going to get out. They went from not being scared to, we're a gang. We're going to win. We got this. Does that make sense? The simple connection of people being in the... That's why I say, me too. Oh, you don't believe how much it's like that with me. My situation, you with me? The more I'm like, and we're the same, and we're in the same thing, getting out and trying to survive, that's why hot spots mean so much when we connect with people or we show compassion. Tracking? All right, y'all two stay up here and stay scared. Y'all sit back down. Oh, God. All right, Nikki. All right, you doing all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all hang right here with me. You can keep that in case you want to say something.
But here's the recipe. Give you a little preview of what we're going to talk about. So I told you noticing, connecting, and responding. So we're going to do noticing first and work our way down like we always do. So noticing is basically giving credence to something that you believe in. You believe it's real. To you, it's real. You're giving it credit. And there's two types of ways to give it credit: through faith and conviction. So I'm having a discussion about the difference between faith and conviction. Some people give credits to stuff through their faith, and some people do it through their conviction. And it's different. It's different. I'm not saying either one of them's right or wrong. I'm just saying this is the different strategies to believe in something, to make it real. So noticing means to be, it's the practice of, we're just going to move on. Yeah, there we go. Noticing is the practice of being mindful. That's the word you need to remember. Being mindful. Sometimes we have to be mindful that people are in distress. Because why? Because who's so worried about our distress? We can't notice anybody else. We're all in our little world. And other people around us got a lot more pain than we do, but we're concerned about our little pain. Whenever we do this with another person's problem, we align ourselves with their pain, which scares the crap out of us. Because now we're in it with them. Now we're giving it credit. We're giving them credence, their pain credence. By giving someone or something credence, we are just one small step away from believing it to be true.
Do you have to believe it's true?
Well,
You just got to notice.
You're one step away from believing it.
You're dang close.
You're close. You're close. That's the scary part. Compassion is a way of giving credit to another person's fault. The Latin word creed means to believe. However, consciously or unconsciously, with every interaction, we are all making the choice to build our compassion credit or empty it out. So some people will wear us out. We'll give all our compassion away. We're spent. We're exhausted. Because we've basically tried to give them compassion for every reason. They fight us, and they try to come up with all these excuses of why they can't do something, and they exhaust us, and we've ran out of credit.
This isn't the actual absolute opposite is true too, meaning you don't show any compassion for a person, and why would they stay?
Yes.
You know what I mean? They come to the hot spot with, one shoe or wrinkly clothes, and you don't show any compassion, they don't stay.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They come looking for compassion, and you give them judgment.
Yeah.
Or you give them ignoring.
Mm-hmm.
You don't acknowledge them, or you judge them. Either one, a disaster, versus compassion, which is where you notice.
Like what he's saying is sometimes we got to worry about their gas tank.
I'm saying 99% of the time we got to worry about their gas tank.
Because we're not just a keeper of our gas tank, we're a keeper of other people's gas tank. Their compassion accounts. If you want to look at it as a bank account, you could look at it as filling up their bank account with more money. If someone drains their bank account dry, yours or theirs, then sometimes we don't feel obligated to give them any more credit. So, listen to this quote. Rick Warren, and some of you have read the book about Rick Warren. What is it? Purpose-driven church and life, and yeah. He has a quote that says, "Kindness always starts with noticing the needs and the hurts of others." He calls it kindness instead of compassion. He calls it kindness. Either one works, but noticing is the first step, and that's why we're talking about noticing here. So we get into discussion about how to notice. What affects us noticing is these two things. This controversial, very controversial subject of faith versus conviction. Now, I have faith in certain things. I have conviction in other things. I don't want you to think that you're all in the faith camp and all of you are over here in the others are in the conviction camp. We jump around based on what we believe to be true. But the faith is a lot to do with this. Faith has something to do with accepting something you cannot see. Conviction is depending on something you can see. Or, a better word, proof. Because faith requires hope. And conviction requires facts. Right? So this is a little deep, but this is how you understand what motivates, what makes people tick, that get them to notice. You want to tap into their faith or tap into their conviction to get them to notice, to teach them to notice. So look at this. People see these as the same thing. They're not the same thing. Right? Faith requires not knowing for sure, like I said, in a scientific way, that something is true. Conviction, on the other hand, requires the exact opposite. The word conviction comes from the verb to be convinced. And in order to be convinced of something, there has to be observed facts for the person in the conviction camp from which the conviction has to be derived. If I'm dealing with a person that's in the faith camp, and they need faith to make sure that they get it, all right? They make it so for them. In their mind, it's so because they have faith. I have to realize this. My personal self, I tend to leave them to that. I try not to challenge that faith because, here's the key word, I am simply not going to be able to persuade them of any other view because their standard of proof is too low. See, faith people don't have any proof. They just believe it because that's the way they feel about it. They don't have any proof. They don't need any proof. So their standard of proof is too low. So what are you trying to prove to them? They don't need proof to believe it to begin with. You see, that's what I'm getting at. And their defense mechanism is way too high. So I call those people, they have buttons on them. Everybody I see has a button on them. And I call them don't go there buttons. People that base their life in the faith camp. They got religion buttons, politic buttons, they got all kinds of buttons. But if I knock into them buttons, they're going to go off. And there's no way that I could convince them because they just feel, I know a lot of people that vote either Republican or Democrat, and if you start talking to some of these people, and I have in my lifetime, And a lot of people that my brother used to be this. I'd say he used to vote Republican. He always voted Republican, and I don't. And my sister is a big Republican. So I don't want y'all to think that I was just born out of all these with little liberals just popped out of my mother's womb and we're walking around. So my brother, I'd say Neil. That's his name. Neil's passed away now, but Neil was a funny guy. So I said, Neil, why do you feel like that you should vote Republican? I don't know. I just like that R. I mean, he didn't really say that, but that's just kind of some of the things that come out of his mouth. I'm like, you don't have any reason. No, that's just what I'm going to do. My buddies do. They all got trucks. I got a truck. They vote Republican. They fish and I fish. They watch NASCAR. We all go. That's what we're going to do. I'm like, okay, I don't know what do you say to that? I don't say nothing. I go, that's good. That's a good reason. Stay with that reason.
All right. To stand. Where's our Where's the house at, Billy? Where's the house? Okay. All right. So, to be EVP, fast as lightning, like that, overnight, okay? You need to be this house, okay? So we're on this little element right here of the house. Right here, compassion. And then inside of compassion, we're saying there's a formula for it that involves noticing, connecting, and responding. You do these three things, it's just like people right business. People say, I can't get people right business. It's in the circle of you. You are not noticing, connecting, responding. Does that make sense? So I didn't know I was supposed to do that. That's why we're writing a book about it. But I've been trying to explain it for 18 years. Okay? And my explaining it ain't always got there. So now we got this academia guy in here with 30 years of experience and training and psychology and sociology and everything. So now with this point here on noticing, and what it comes down to, where's the two different kinds? Where is it? Not noticing.
No, it's the next one. This one is Andy right here for me, from here to here. And you say something after this, because I think this is it. Read this. But if there is a point where someone's belief is based in conviction, not faith, an interpretation of the facts. That's what conviction people, they interpret facts only. They given you permission with facts to back up your belief, the opportunity to change that individual. So to me, Andy works on conviction. If you got facts, he's going to listen to them.
Come here. It's what I'm trying to say. Let me have your mic. Angela, come here. This is conviction. You go to Davenport University?
Yes.
Get a degree in forensics accounting?
Correct.
When did you start doing this business? How far along were you in your classes?
I was a junior in college.
Junior in college. And when you graduated, the first year after you graduated, did you get a job in accounting?
No.
Did you get a job in forensics?
No, not at all.
Down at the candy shop or the ice cream shop? Or?
No, sir.
And how much money did you make first year?
$104,000.
$104,000 first year. That's why I go like, what? Like, well, he's hard. Look how little she is. She doesn't have you do have flats on. So she doesn't have a degree in salesmanship. It's in accounting. Come here, Tia. I don't even know hey, tell them. Where'd you go to school?
Elizabeth City State University.
And what kind of degree did you get?
Criminal justice degree.
Do you have any idea how much you and your husband made the first full 12 months with us?
$105,000.
$105,000. Now look, she's taller than her.
Yeah.
She's a different shade taller than she is. She's married, she ain't. She's from up north, she's from down here.
Country.
I don't think it's similarity is conviction. They both got conviction.
I'm convicted anybody can do it. And I'm producing them, and I'm producing them, and I'm producing them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is empirical, stacked up preponderance of evidence, and I can keep producing them like that. Does that make sense? All right, y'all grab a seat. Thank you very much.
That knocks it home. We're going to move on to the next part, but this is cool right here. However, convictions, there's a however with convictions, just like I did faith. That cause people to say, people with conviction will say, people that have faith will say, take me on face value. I don't need to prove. People with conviction say, it's the principle of the matter. Because they have found facts that will back up what they believe. Right? It's the principle of the matter, or letting their beliefs interpret the facts, instead of letting the facts create their beliefs. Whoa. Did you get that? That's messed up, isn't it? I know a lot of people will go ahead and say, this is what I believe, and then they'll go find facts to back it up, instead of letting the facts lead them to the belief. I'd be the wrong person to test whether sweet tea or unsweet tea is the better tasting. I've already made up my mind. My beliefs, I'm going to go find facts, and I'm going to ignore the facts that say it's better to drink unsweet tea, because it's not proving what I already believe. That's what I'm talking about here. This twisted logic is what is called in popular culture by our president today as fake news. And listen, I am probably not the biggest proponent of that gentleman, but he is the president, and I do respect the fact that he's president. I will say this. He's right about that, because that is when the media is taking beliefs that they already have and finding only the facts that support those beliefs. And that's what creates fake news. See, I can see both sides.
I don't know. Most people don't know this. Jeff is an extreme liberal. Okay? Extreme. But yet he's got sense enough to see what the media is doing. Does that make sense? It's a mess out there. But his level-headedness is what makes him who he is. Conviction, not faith. Oh, media's doing right. No, he's going like, no, because you can see how they're doing this. You with me? You listen to him, not me. This is huge. I
got a good quote for faith, a good quote for conviction, bad quote, just to kind of drive my point home so we can move on. Faith, this is great. It comes from Matthew, not directly, but I kind of like changed it a little bit just to make it more modern. But that's probably wasn't a good thing to do. But your faith can move mountains, and your doubt can create them.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can.
It's basically the same thing. I mean, I don't want y'all to think bad of me, okay? So, now this one's a little, this is from something I used to read called The Untold Tale. And it's a little, but it's cool. It's cool. If you listen to it now. Now he understood that roads do divide. And at the crossroads, there is a choice to make. Now we understand. We see it. There's a fork. There's a choice. But at this point now that you know there's a choice, and blinding oneself to the form of that choice is choosing also. You're also making a choice.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Okay. Be stupid.
Sometimes if I challenge somebody's faith with too much facts, they go, put me back over here. I don't want to hear all that. That'll mess me up. I don't want to keep believing what I've been believing my whole life. That's called a high degree of stubbornness. All right, so conviction quote. Conviction is worthless unless it is converted into conduct. Yeah, that's what irritates Andy the most.
I believe you. Well, then do something.
Yeah. That's what he talks about all the time. He talks about it all the time. He talked about it today. Do it. Quit talking about doing it. If you got a conviction, show me the conviction in the form of a conduct. Now, here's the bad one. A strong conviction that something must be done is the parent of many bad measures. Some people are so bullheaded, and so they get something in their mind, they got to get it done. They don't even think about all the collateral damage that could be done. They just go, I want to get this done, and they just run through, and they cause a lot more problems before they should have sit back and thought about it just a second before they formulated that plan.
I'm just checking something. Keep going.
Okay, that messed me up. I don't know what that was about. Now we go to the next line. We're going to connection. Now we moved from noticing. We're going to connection. Connecting through love. Now we got love up here. Love is in the air right now. Love is what we experience at any moment with someone. We don't have judgments about them or ourselves. Love, therefore, is a complete acceptance, unconditional. Love doesn't require anything in return. It's about connecting with the person without having any expectation. That's why love is so tough, because it's not about you, it's about them. There's two definitions for real, genuine love. Love is when you choose to be at your best when the other person is not at their best.
I don't like that part.
I know. And if people don't do that, then they'll keep score with each other. You never keep score. Love is second.
Y'all understand when I say I don't like that? It's when your partner, your spouse, your girlfriend, your husband is doing stupid stuff, and you got to say, I love you anyway. Don't even say anyway, I love you. Quit with, but you did this and you did that. It's your job is in the circle of you, which is what you worry about you being the best. Don't worry about them. I mean, you care, but you don't worry. Does that make sense? The love is when you just love. Now, you don't get depressed when they're mad. You don't get down. You don't blow up. You don't pout. You don't stop working when they're mad. Your life continues on regardless of people outside the circle of you. But when you still love them and continue on, that's the kind of love he's talking about. Am I on this?
Yes. Yes. You're supposed to love your downline regardless.
Oh, different concept, but same concept. I love them. But they're not selling. They're not coming to convention. He went to a baby's birthday party like a second cousin. It was his second cousin, and he went to the birthday party. He went to his ex-girlfriend's graduation instead of coming to the night owl. Right, I love him, don't you? No. And he's broke on top of that. Great, wonderful. Let's move. We got a million things to do, buddy.
You don't listen to this. You do not have to respect them when they're doing stuff like that, but you still love them.
Love them, and mainly you don't talk bad about them. And you don't say, I hate them, I wish they would die, I wish they would quit. None of that stuff. It's like, I love them. We got other stuff. I love them. Move over here.
Second thing, love is when what you want is never important, but what the other person needs and wants is always paramount. You don't practice this normal reciprocity. If you do good things for me, I'll do good things back for you. That's not love. You do things and don't expect back. Love is when a person believes in another person and here's the word, shows it. Shows it how? With the three types of love that we're going to learn about just now in just a few seconds. The three types are desire, warmth, and patience. And that's what we're going to move on to the... Ooh, this is a heck of a chart here, and I'm not going to be able to spend a lot of time like I thought because we're running short of time because I want to get through this.
We're right on time.
Three types of love. Now, I could tell you what it really means, but I'm trying to apply it to the business, but I will briefly tell you what this really means, and I'm going to try to be as delicate as I can, because I don't know who's listening. Attraction, or the Greek eros, is one type, which I call desire, and then we have affection, agape, which is the second type, which I call warmth, and then the third type, admiration, or philos, which is showing patience. So let's look at the first one. Need-based kind of love, attraction, which we call motivational. And I've tried to apply it to our business. You use that type of love to make money. If your business can be compared to what this is really about, and we're all adults, we know what it's really about. I'll just say it's physical, the physical part of love. And listen, having a desire to make more money. Yeah, that's what happens as a result of that. We're just trying to teach people. To show desire, I knew I was going to get through this. I did. So show desire for making money. Be tempted to go out and do the thing. Be enticed to go after what is called short-term goals over long-term goals. You would never thought you'd heard an academic say the short-term goals are better than the long-term goals. Short-term goals over long-term goals. That is the secret to success right there. Because I would never get into a discussion with a new student about all they're going to be when they graduate or what they're going to do in their third year or what they're going to take. I say, brother, you just need to take the first class. Let's get one class under your belt before we start talking about this grander idea that you're going to graduate and then they'll tell me what they're going to get a master's in, and they start having the Jeff Bodine discussion on the pamphlets. I got a 6th grade education, I won't be a doctor or double knot spy. I mean, I don't need to hear all that. I just need to hear what you're going to do right now. What class are you going to take that's going to get this thing started that you keep talking about what's going to happen over the next 4 years? So I'm trying to get their desire, be tempted to just sign up for one. Does that make sense? Now, men and women, I don't think we need to get into this today, but men and women see this love quite different. I don't think, should I mean, I can't explain to you why. Time. You can't.
Time.
Tick. Yeah, we can't do, yeah.
Time. We need to hit it, but move.
Move, yeah. Let's just sum it up this way, then I won't have to talk about it. All right. Men see all three types of love as separate things. They can't think about all three at the same time. They can't think at two at the same time. While this one's going on, that's all they think about.
Making money.
Yeah, making money. Yeah. All right. But women, what makes women different is they think about all three at the same time. Does that help a little bit? All right, let's go to the affection, agape, where you're showing warmth. The affect is tenderness. The tenderness that you have for another human being helps you show compassion, and it also helps us in our business help people understand that we need to make a difference. This is the type of love, is the giving type of love. This is the kind of love when you met your partner and you held hands and you felt that real giddy feeling, and you didn't think, maybe you thought it was like a high stomach, but it was like, we call it soulmate love. You've met your soulmate, and you look at each other, and you think about each other after you go home and you go to your separate residence and you keep calling, you keep talking until the middle of the night. That kind of love. I got the women's attention with that. You know what men get out of that love? This comes from their It comes from their childhood. Stability. They like to know that you're there, and they like to know you're happy with them, and they have a better day if you're not fighting with them. They get stability out of that second type of love. You don't get stability out of it. You get something quite different. You're looking for acceptance. You're looking for value. You want to know that they recognize as you want to be recognized as something of value, that you bring value to their life. They're looking for stability of the relationship and knowing that you're there. They just like to know you're there. They can be in a separate room the whole time you're married. You never see each other. It's just knowing that you're in the next room is okay. The woman wants to be in the same room. It's exhausting me talking about it. Let's go to the next one. Admiration. Philos, this is like marrying your good friend. Marrying your good friend. That's important too, is to like each other. This is a high degree of like. They call it cognitive love, companionship. Right? This is where you learn patience with each other. And this is when they call marriage an act of tolerance. And brother, if you ain't been married long, about 7 years into it, you'll understand it's an act of tolerance. Yes. Men are trying to make everything fair in a relationship, and women trying to make everything a level of decency. That's what they're, and this is, I mean, I can get into great detail, and we don't have time. This chart will require that. So I just want you to understand these three types of love. And which type of love do you think gives more impact to compassion? Affection. Getting in touch with that one helps with compassion. Because it takes great compassion to make a difference, don't it? Now, you can have a compassion for making money, but it's a different type of love. So let's move on, because we're moving.
The only thing I want to tell you with the top 38 or top 33, a high point score in compassion. There's no doubt about it, the correlation in those top 33 that I picked, they have a high expectation in all three of those categories. Have fun, make money, make a difference. They're on top all three of those. Kill it. Everything he's saying, get into the detail, they do it all, baby. They're into it.
That also gives some insight. Attraction, that type of love, which we call the lustmate love. This is called lustmate love. Affection is called soulmate love. And admiration is called teammate love. And attraction, the secret of attraction is to love yourself. Deepak Chopra said that. And Deepak is talking about, hey, if you don't love yourself, it's hard to show love.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of times, especially with this type of love, you know, and God knows I'm glad my wife ain't listening to this, but and y'all are not going to tell her, but But she will back away from this type of love and say, this ain't happening because I feel fat. She's telling me she don't like herself, so therefore...
Hey, Jeff, here's what people say. Hurt people hurt people. That's what that is right there. Attracted people that are attracted to themselves, they love everybody else and they serve. But hurt people hurt people. Depressed people depress.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Like selfish people are selfish. Does that make sense? They're selfish. They don't want to give. They don't want to go out and do hot spots. They don't want to go do lectures. They don't want to do lessons. They don't want to go serve in the community. They don't want to go to animal shelter because they're selfish. Hurt people are going to attack people. Does that make sense? So it's like the reflection in the mirror of who people are.
It inhibits their ability to have compassion.
Okay, we've got to...
Yeah, and then affection. The affection here, affection is responsible for 9/10 of whatever solid and durable happiness there is in our lives. You know, if you don't feel people this type of love, if you don't feel it and you're not able to show it to somebody, you live in a lonely, lonely life. That's a special kind of gift that you give to each other. That right there, that giddy feeling. Because some of you go, God, I've been married too long. I don't remember that. But if we could capture that every day, you remember you used to look forward to seeing them. Now you get up and go, you again. Admiration. The secret of happiness is to admire without desiring. Yes, to admire people without desiring that you need something from them. Show admiration. That's Carl Sandburg. Let's move on to where are we going? All right.
Boom.
All right, the last one. Responding with sympathy. Sympathy is
It was notice, love, and respond.
Notice and connecting.
Notice,
Connecting,
connect, and respond.
Now we're talking about responding. You respond with sympathy. Now we're going to see the difference between sympathy and compassion. Compassion is the umbrella over top of all of these three that we've talked about: noticing, connecting, and responding. Here's the difference. See if you see the subtle difference here. Sympathy is a feeling of care and concern, accompanied by a wish to see somebody better off. So sometimes I see people say, I got compassion. They go, I feel for them, but I really don't care if they get better or not. The caring for them is sympathy. Pairing it with, see it says here, to compare it, put it together with compassion is when you have something special. Let's see what it says here. With this connection, sympathy sheds its partial attitude, and that's what it has. Sympathy by itself is not impartial. I have a partial attitude. I'm checking you out. I don't know how much I'm going to give you today because I'm determined whether you deserve it or not. But if you put compassion with sympathy, it rids itself of its impartial it becomes impartial and not partial. And it becomes more willing to give without expectations. So the sympathy quote I have is from Voltaire. Tears are the silent language of grief. It's evidence that you care. That's what Voltaire is saying. Tears or tearing up is when you start to see somebody's real sympathy and their real compassion coming out. Some people fight it, but you can see the tears welling up.
Hey, back up 1 second. Let me say this real quick. I cared a lot. Did you call them? Nope. There's no tears. Well, I cried at home alone. They didn't see your tears. Did you send them a card? Nope. Did you send flowers? Nope. Did you go to see them? Nope. Did you send their baby a gift? Nope. When their daddy died, did you send flowers? Nope. You might have knew it. You might have recognized it. But where's the sympathy? Where's the part where you do? It always comes back to the do, don't it? Where's the part where you held their hand? Where's the part where you hugged them? Where's that part? Where's the evidence? Where's sympathy's evidence?
Yeah, if you just drew a line, active and desire. You may desire that people don't have pain, but if you don't actively try to do something about it or show them that you actually care, you're not marrying compassion with sympathy. When you marry the active to the desire, you're marrying sympathy to compassion.
I feel real sorry about that lead, and then you don't do anything about it. How about you ride with me Monday, and I'll take you out. I know you got hammered. I know you got no-showed, and you didn't get a sale. How about you ride with me next week? That's sympathy. When you do. Am I killing this on that?
Yeah,
it's when you do. Can you get in the car and ride with you? Does that make sense? You can't just say, oh, I cared about him. What did you do? I mean, did you go? Did you talk? Did you take them with you? We need some gravy up in here.
So, sympathy is a way of comforting people, demonstrating condolences for people. So I looked at the word sympathy and broke it in half. In the Greek word sympathy, to break it in half, the sim part means a together feeling. The pathos part is a fellow feeling. So in the together feeling, it's about creating what is called interdependence. This together feeling is, I'm dependent upon you and you're dependent upon me. We're in it together kind of thing. And that comes in two ways: spatial proximity and similar experiences. What I'm talking about is it comes down to whether we're going to have this together feeling depends upon your preferences and your relationships. And I've broke this into sociological terms that I used to teach in college. And Andy and I talked about it today.
Keep going.
In-groups versus out-groups is what we need to talk about first. This is the first part of this recipe of a together feeling. So in-groups and out-groups. You ever heard these terms? What is an in-group? What is an out-group? Maybe so, maybe not. So in-group identifies with people that have similar beliefs. Look, I may look at a group of people over here and they may look different than me. They may feel different about something. They may act different. Religiously, they worship different than I do, whatever. And I probably keep them at an arm's length. I know where they're at. They're out here. They're in my space, but they're further away. There's no spatial proximity. They're not near me because I keep them at bay, and those are my out-group people. Okay? I don't have to keep them at bay, but I probably would, because at first I gravitate to the people that think like I do, that look like I do, unless I am outside my belief system, like I made that statement about Trump a while ago. A lot of my liberal friends would never make that statement because they're stuck in their in-group. I think the secret to grow up and become mature is to seek people in your out-group and get to know the people in your out-group. That's the only way you're going to grow as a person. Staying in your own little in-group, you're only going to hear their version of the truth, not the other version. I reach out, most of my friends are Republicans. They really are. I purposely go outside my in-group to my out-group because they have differing beliefs. You know why? I go after them because they have differing beliefs. I want to know something different that I've been told. All I'm getting fed is everything. We're just piling on each other in the in-group. We're going to tell each other what we want to hear in the in-group. I want somebody to challenge me in the out-group. But,
okay, what he's saying is such an adult thing to say. I'm going to say it in such a businessman way to say it.
Okay.
By that, Bo.
All right, you can do that.
He's doing it in being an adult. I'm going like, the adult. Let's be rich. Let's be powerful. Let's own jets. You want to hear that version? Yeah. Okay, on the in group, these are people that are already just like me. Toby, come over here. See, look. Look how tall he is, and look how shade of his skin. Look, he got on his jeans. I like jeans. I'm in group. Easy with me. Okay? What's your name? Stephanie, come here. What's your last name, Stephanie?
Wilson.
What is it? Wilson. I'm going to be real nice to you, Stephanie.
Okay.
All right? See how she's shorter than me?
Mm-hmm. Easy. Easy in Albright.
All right, now watch this. She's selling. That's my primary. She just came into my in-group. She's a human being. You like eating?
I like eating. I like eating.
Do you like people?
I like people.
You like have a good time?
I really like to have a good time.
See how she got into my in-group so good? Does that make sense? When they're in your primary, it's easy to give them in your in-group. When then they're in-group, I can say, hey, Bo, let's make some money. When they're in their in-group, it's easy to put them in your primary. What I can't figure out is how a guy goes, he says to me, he says, this guy is a jerk. He don't like pizza, he don't like movies, he don't like fast cars, and he don't like girls. I don't know why he thinks different from me. And I'm saying, that joker is selling. He likes ice cream. He likes traveling. You see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying is, people that have big in-groups and big primaries are powerful. People that have narrow in-groups have narrow businesses.
It's good.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
I'm big uns and big uns. It ain't many that I don't relate to, especially if they are relating to them.
I know that's right.
You see what I'm saying? When they're producing, I have this magical lens that I see through. One guy, I mean, it's just, you can't, those of you around me, you see what I'm saying? Y'all know it's true. Me too. How many times I say me too when he doesn't do to do? When he doesn't do to do, it's a me too. Does that make sense? And before he gets started and he ain't done nothing, it's a me too. Now, when that fool can't sell, can't recruit, and don't like pizza,
Yeah.
I don't even remember who you talking about. I don't know his name. I don't remember when she worked here. You can't say she quit because she never got started.
He's in your secondary group automatically.
Hey, he's disappeared from the face of earth.
Oh, not even he's
Does that make sense? He out.
Yeah.
I don't remember who you're talking about. Does that make sense? But this is so massive for me, and this is so massive for me. And I want both of them to get bigger. Jeff, does that make sense? Is this a big adult? Is that a big adult?
It's because you make a decision to do this. It represents you are welcoming yourself into adulthood. You know, that's the adult thing to do. Get outside yourself.
Hey, me and you know a guy, and here's what he does. The minute they disagree with him, they're in his out group, even if they're in his in group. And then they get mad and they get in his out group and don't sell. I'm like, you just made the guy stop selling. What is wrong with you? Do you not know what the goal is here? Does that make sense? He puts the minute they have one, like they fit in good, and then they got a speck, and so he puts them in their out group. And starts blasting them based on principle and based on his feelings. And I'm like, God knows, dude. How do you have those type feelings? How does that bother you?
The judgment starts to take
Judgment.
over. The judgment takes over. I mean, I have a lot of people in my out group, but they're in my primary group. We didn't say the difference between this, Andy. I think some of them out there listening. Down here, we have primary groups versus secondary groups. A primary group is where you are sharing with your inner circle, your friends, your good friends, where you hang out with them. Secondary group is those people I worked with 30 years that they were just acquaintances. Those work people that I hung around with, but I would never do nothing on the weekend with. I was lucky to get out of there at 5, to not have to say anything to them, and I don't miss them to this day. You know, they're in my secondary group. Yeah, but compassion, I just want to say this before we leave. Compassion is crucial that we search out for these people in the out group, and by making a primary relationship with them, we put them in our in group. That's compassion. It's easy to be compassionate with in-group friends, and then they automatically become your primary group. These two go together easily. The hard thing is seeking out people that are different from you and then making them part of your primary. That's the secret.
That's why when I had the chancellor of NC State, or I have Nito Cobain, the president of High Point. That's why I show him, I go, look at the diversity. Look at who we are. Because it's a reflection, my primary is a reflection of my in-group. My tolerance, my vision, my ability to have to be inclusive and not exclusive drives this right here. And this is my evidence of this. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's the numbers. That's why I said we're non-discriminatory. We're non-discriminatory, but we're discriminatory. It's based on the do, baby. When I got this news, I was so fired up because I knew I was a redneck with a different kind of accent that wasn't that smart, that had a crazy upbringing, hadn't been outside of Union Ridge, and I said, you mean to tell me this whole thing's going to be based on what I do? Then I'm just going to do.
Let's go.
It's not going to be based on my guilt. It's not based on my stupidity. It's not going to be based on my mammy, not on my daddy. Not based on whether I raise goats or whether I raise llamas. It's just going to be based on what I do. I was like, Lord God, praise God. You mean to tell me it's just based on what I do and then I get in? And I've found this to be true throughout the United States of America and other countries too. That's what people want to know. What did you do? They don't say, do you like pizza? They say, what'd you do?
That's good.
What did you create? What did you establish? Now, they like to hear your troubles that you overcame because they know you overcame them. Because let me explain something to you. Between you and success is a trash pile. And if you ain't willing to go through that trash pile and that trash heap, you ain't never going to get to the other side. And anybody that's ever done anything know that people did something and went through the trash pile. We don't have to hear all about it. We know it happened. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I need for y'all to come on through. Let's go, baby. We got Paris coming up. We got family reunion. And between you and family reunion, I guarantee you it's going to be a trash heap. Mm-hmm. Somebody bitching, moaning, complaining. Babysitter problems, financial problems. Your house done blowed up, done got washed away in a mudslide, or a volcano has done enveloped it.
That's right.
We still got a family reunion coming up. And we need you here. We love you. We'll see you soon. Thanks for plugging in. Thank you, Jeff. Killed it, Jeff. Thank you, buddy.